in the context of John 8:44 that we need to recognize is he clearly articulates to them who he is. And yet no matter how clearly he articulates to them who he is, they have no clue who he is. They really do not understand who Jesus Christ was in his earthly ministry as he stood before them in the flesh and blood. So they have no idea who he is. But make no mistake, he knows exactly who they are. Look at verse 33. Starting in verse 33. They answered him, "We be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free?" Jesus answered them, "Verily," or truly, truly, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin. And the servant abideth not in the house forever, but the Son abideth ever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my Father hath no place in you. I speak that which I have seen with my Father, and ye do that which ye have seen with your father. Then they answered and said unto him, you got to say this with indignation, right? Abraham is our father, right? Again, because they don't understand, and he understands exactly who they are. Abraham is our father. Jesus said unto them, if you were Abraham's children, you would do the work of Abraham. But now ye seek to kill me, a man who hath told you the truth, which I have heard of God. This did not Abraham. Ye do the deeds of your father. So now he's thrown him a curveball here. All right? He really has, because back in verse 37, he says, I know that ye are Abraham's seed. But then as you go down through there, he says, but Abraham's not your father. So what's the question that again, he's trying to get them to understand their spiritual position, trying to get them to understand who they are, who God understands them to be. Verse 41, ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they unto him, we be not born of fornication. What are they saying? They're saying, no, we're from Abraham. And listen, to the Jews, how important were the bloodlines? Oh, I love that response. Oh, yeah. They had to marry within their tribe. That was required under the law. They are highly offended at what Jesus has just told them. He says, yes, I know you're Abraham's seed, but Abraham's not your father. And again, they're missing the spiritual truth that he is directing toward them, because all they see is the physical of, we are Jews. We are Abraham's seed. But Jesus says, ye do the deeds of your father. Verse 42, Jesus said unto them, if God were your father, ye would love me. For I proceeded forth. Stop for a minute. I got to back up here for a second. He is drawing a distinction here. Very early on in his ministry, he wanted them to understand that they had to not only do the works that the law required, but they also had to believe that he was who he claimed to be. And they had no trouble in their flesh doing all the things of the law that were required of them. But where they struggled, and where he said they would struggle, was it's not enough just to do the works. You have to believe, because that's how God dealt with Israel. Today we are not bound and required to do works for our salvation. We are saved by grace through faith apart from works. But at that time, it was absolutely absolutely required of them that they do these works and believe that he was who he claimed to be. By the way, that is today, how are we saved? Not of works, but it's also not believing that he was who he claimed to be. It's believing that he died on the cross for your sins and was buried and rose from the dead for your sins. That is how we are saved today in the dispensation of the grace of God. That's how anyone is saved today in the dispensation of the grace of God. But he's dealing here with these Jews, and they are Abraham's seed. They're Jews by birth. They're Israelites by birth. To be specific, they're Israelites by birth because Abraham and Isaac and Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And so they are Abraham's seed. They are Israel's seed. But they're not believing that Jesus Christ is who he claimed to be. And so therefore, even as Abraham's seed, they are of their father, the devil. So he says there in verse 44, if God were your father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do ye not understand my speech, even because ye cannot hear my word? Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Verse 45, and because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. Which of you convinceth me of sin? Or literally, who here is going to convict me of sin?
We want to thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you and consider you a part of our family, just as the people attending in person. We want to ask that if this message touched you in any way, that you like this video, share it with your friends and family, and then also subscribe. This way you will get notified when we come out with other videos that may help bless you and others. Thank you again for joining us, and until next time, God bless and keep looking up.